गुड मॉर्निंग. गुड मॉर्निंग. कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहे. गुड मॉर्निंग. सर जोर से बोलो यार. तुम लोग क्या आईएएस बनेगा ऐसे? ये तो हाँ, nobody will listen to your comment if your good morning is so weak. So once again, good morning. Oh, great, yaar. I'm so happy that some sound has come out. Please sit. I know it's difficult to say good morning, good afternoon, and all these days because you are in a different generation, is it not? So that's the reason. Anyway, so today, we are starting fresh once again. Some of you might have listened to our earlier foundation programs and all, and whatever you learned, whatever you gained, that is a bonus. But now onwards, there is no excuse. You cannot, some of you might have been preparing personally also at home. Some of you might have been thinking about civil service for the last maybe 10 years, 12 years, I don't know, right from the school. So some sort of dream to prepare and things like that. So you might have done something, some of you might not have done anything. Today is maybe the first day. See, for everyone, things are same. If you have some knowledge, if you are not zero, I am happy. But some of you are negative. Minus 10, minus 20 people are also there. Because you might have some wrong ideas about how to prepare. Now we have to correct it. We have to come back to normal. Then we have to start doing things. But all I would like to say is that whatever be your level of preparation today, whether it is 0, whether it is minus 10, whether it is 5, some of you may say 5, 10%, whatever be the percentage, right now, it is right, it is good enough time to prepare for next year. Say, I'm sure all of you are thinking of writing the exam in 2027. Even if it is for 28 or 29. I mean, some of you, some youngsters are also there. So who are thinking, who are not eligible to write the exam. So even for them, this is the right time to start. So if you have done something already, you should be very happy. If you have not done anything, nothing to worry. Today we can start. But there is nothing called a perfect preparation in civil service exam. There is nothing called, you are ready with everything and finally I'm going to write the exam. That day will never come in your life. Even if you prepare for 5 years, still you will feel that, okay, there is something left. Something more could have been done. So that is always there. So within the given time, what best we can do is the challenge. That is what we should be looking, rather than worrying about what you did not do till today. From today, if you are serious, if you are willing to work hard, if you are willing to put in some effort, there is always a possibility of getting through the exam. That is what you should all understand. So don't look at what you did not do till now. Don't look at what others have done so far. If you think about others, you will not be able to prepare for this exam. Because, you are not going to compete with the fellows sitting here or whoever is attending our online program right now. We are going to prepare, or rather every year, almost 5 to 6 lakh people are going to appear in this exam. Out of that 5 to 6 lakh people who are appearing, not applying. Those who apply is almost 12 lakhs. Every year, those who fill the form. So, but of course, this 6 lakh, all 6 lakh are not serious. I mean, since it is a free exam, for you, for men flock, you have to spend 100 rupees to write the exam. For women, free exam, no exam fee for women. So it's good. So it's a free for all, field. So 6 lakh appearing does not mean that they are serious. At least 1 lakh will be serious. But in that 1 lakh also, imagine those who wrote the last year's exam and those who wrote the main exam, those who appeared in the interview. those who could not get a service, they all will be writing. And those who got service also will be writing again, because they did not get proper service. All of us are looking for IAS, IPS, etc. So those who got a lower rank, they also will write. So your competitor, if you think about your competitors, see, every year around 14,000. If 14,000 people are writing the main exam, just 1,000 people will get a service. Out of that, people who get service also, at least 500 will write the exam again. All those who appeared in the main exam, most of them will try. I mean, at least 10,000 will be trying, and say at least 5,000 more will write. So if you look that way, if you think about others, then you will not prepare for the exam. If you think about yourself, there is always a possibility. See, what I'm saying is that at least 5,000, 5,500 people who are going to write your main exam along with you are those who already wrote the exam. So their level of preparedness, what is the level of preparedness? They are at 2 years ahead of you, maybe 3 years ahead of you, maybe 5 years, because since the attempts are so high, people appear like anything. So in general category also 6 attempts are there. OBC 9 attempts are there. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, there is no specific number. Right from 21 to 37 you can appear. So almost 15, 17 years you can appear if required. But I don't want you to appear like that, okay? But options are there. OBC 9 attempts are there. General category 6 attempts are there. The only thing is that general category 21 to 32 and OBC 21 to 35 and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe 21 to 37 years of age. A vast choice. So these are not the concern. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you start thinking about others, you will be in trouble. If you think about your neighbor, how much he might have studied, you are in trouble. If you think about other fellow competitors who have written the main exam or who got a rank last year and again writing, naturally they have some more knowledge than you. So let us not worry about all these things. You only think about yourself. What can be done so that you can clear this exam? But again, the beauty of this exam is at least 20% of people who get a rank are first attempters. So there is scope for everyone. There is scope for veterans. Okay, even last attempt fellows also get through. First attempt also is there. 20% are first attempt people. Only one attempt they have done and they got it. So if you can crack the code, one attempt is sufficient. So this exam is something, it's for everyone. Okay, there is scope for everyone. So all I'm trying to tell you is that don't worry about what has happened so far. Don't worry about others. Don't worry about your competitors. Let us be zero today. None of us are zero today. Slightly above only. Some knowledge is always there. We can use. Maybe from your graduation you have some idea. Maybe because of your upbringing you have some idea. Maybe because you were reading newspapers and all, maybe in the past you have some idea. But whatever be this. So there are some positives with you. Some of you may be good in maths, mental ability, reasoning. At least CSAT is taken care automatically. So all these possibilities. So whatever be the position today, wherever you are today, please don't worry. Today is the day. Let us start fresh. And now there should not be any second starting. I mean, this is the last time I will say that we are starting. Let us start properly. Let us do it systematically. This one attempt is sufficient. We have to make it such a way that you all should get through this exam in one attempt. This attempt. Even if you have done it before, this is the attempt. That should be the spirit with which we should look at the whole thing. So today, tomorrow and day after, we will be talking various aspects once again, just to ensure that you are getting the plan of exam and the strategy for the exam in the right perspective. We should always look at that. If your strategy is correct, if your plan of action is correct, If you're going in the right track, you can definitely reach the destination. But if you're traveling in the wrong track, if your strategy is wrong, if your ideas are unacceptable, not in tune with what is required for the exam, then nobody can save you. Suppose you want to travel from Delhi to Mumbai. If you are in the right road, there is no problem. But if you are traveling towards Calcutta and expect to reach Mumbai at some point of time, it will never reach. The same thing happens here. So we need to have the right plan. So that is why we are spending some more time on how to prepare, what to do, what not to do. All these discussions will be done. The next 3 days we are doing that. So that Monday onwards, it will be a foolproof preparation for you. And every day we should be moving closer to our destination, that is clearing this exam with flying colors. Okay, that is what exactly we are looking here. Okay, so just before I start talking about everything, I would like to remind you that about me. I am Jojo Matthew, and I am into this civil service training for the last 28 years, much before many of you were born. Okay, and I am a mechanical engineer from NIT Durgapur, and then I worked, then appeared in the exam in the 90s. Only 4 attempts were there in those days. So I appeared in the exam, in the main exam thrice, appeared in the interview twice, could not get through. Then started teaching, of course, accidentally. So since then, since 1998, I am into teaching. Okay, and into civil service teaching only, no other business. So I have good experience of training also, then writing the exam also. So, and fundamentals are not changing. You may be thinking that you wrote 30 years before, so you may be out of tune with the whole thing. That is what you may be thinking, but it is not like that. Fundamentals for the exam is still the same. Last week also I was listening to last year, 2025 24 successful candidate giving a bhashan. I was in Itanagar. We were taking a seminar for the aspirants. So I asked the successful candidate to speak first, so that she should not be influenced by what I say. So I thought I should be influenced by what she says, because new candidates, new people, new ideas. But ultimately, when she spoke, whatever I wanted to speak, she spoke first. Fundamentals are changed. You cannot change. If you have to sit and do some memorizing, you have to do it now also. If you have to do writing practice, you have to do it now also. So there is no change, absolutely no change in what is required to be done. Your commitment, your effort are same. But of course, there are some fine tuning is required, because in 30 years things have changed. Technology, information, the level of information what we have, everything has changed. So definitely those things are incorporated in any case in our discussion also. Okay, so that is about it. Now, as ALS, I would like to remind you that we are initially, our institute's name was Interactions IAS Study Circle. That was in 1990s. Then early 2000 we converted this into ALS, and since then every year more than 100 students are getting through from our institute. Even today it is happening. Okay, we have various other program, foundation courses, the courses for repeaters, the courses for main exam, courses for interview. So various levels we are still doing. We have enough number of candidates. This year also more than 100 people got through from the institute. See, only thing required is, as I told you, if you are good, if you are willing to work hard, our strategy, our ideas are more than sufficient to get through the exam. But you have to put in the effort. I cannot write for you right now. I cannot go and write the exam. I can only tell you that you please study like this. You put in this effort, write this exam, write this test. But if you do, 100% we can achieve. And not only this, I would like to remind you that, this course, especially the GS, this course is for preliminary, for main exam, for interview, for essay, okay, even for CSAT. It's a combination. And in fact, if you have seen this year's preliminary exam, now they are bringing in the main exam component in preliminary itself. There cannot be a separate preparation for main exam anymore. Earlier people used to do, but now, and people even come to me and say that, sir, let me clear preliminary first, then I will think of main exam. Now we cannot do that. So that is one big change which is happening right now. And most of the questions in preliminary exam right now, they can be answered only if you have a good understanding of the preparation for main exam. Of course, in main exam, you have to write the answer. But here, in preliminary, what are they doing? Instead of asking you to write the answer or rather the points in sentence form, these sentences are given in the answer in the preliminary as 4 options. And you are asked, do you have this idea or other, are you able to? So it's not just about the facts and figures in preliminary anymore. It's that understanding and the way you might be preparing for the main exam, those information, those ideas are required to answer the preliminary question, the way questions were asked. Even from ethics, normally we say that paper 4, the ethics paper, it is only for main exam. But at least 3 questions were there this year from ethics related in preliminary. Case studies were given and you are asked to find out what is the answer. So that is normally, people do. So, but again, please understand, this holistic preparation, like there cannot be separate preparation only for preliminary. There cannot be a separate preparation only for main. No separate preparation only for interview. It should be a combination of all the 3. Knowledge should be there. Then we have to use the same knowledge. It's something like, if you go to any, Punjabi, restaurant in Delhi, whether if it is a veg, non-veg hotel, there will be one butter chicken. We all know butter chicken, butter paneer, all butter, right? And if you ask them, suppose you are a vegetarian, you say, I need butter paneer, immediately they will pour some gravy from that big, kadai, and then paneer will be put. Suppose you ask butter chicken, the same gravy will be there. So same way, whatever we learn, that knowledge part, whatever we cover, it is the same. Suppose polity we study. The content is same. Now we have to use this polity knowledge for pre. You have to use this polity knowledge for main exam. And we will have to use the same polity knowledge for interview. A lot of questions will be in the interview related to our constitution and polity. In the interview also, the same knowledge will be required even in essay. So we need to have that holistic preparation. We need to have the subject knowledge, and the subject knowledge should be used in various places depending upon the requirement. So it has to be a holistic GS preparation. So this GS is not a single subject thing. Multiple areas, multiple topics, subjects, everything is there. So it has to be done in a holistic manner, in a big way. See, in fact, preliminary this year on May 25th. Is it not? And then, when is the result? When will the result come? This week, I think, because this first time UPSC even published the answer within a week's time, and we were asked to submit if there is an objection to the answer. Not many, 1 or 2 questions, there was some doubt, but otherwise, questions where there is no complication in the answers at least. Okay. Now, based on the answer on first week, objections and everything were taken. Now, I think in another 10 days, at the 5 days, maybe this week, say June 15th, results, preliminary result, maybe even before, maybe this Saturday, tomorrow also it can come. Even today it can come, I think. It doesn't take much time. So, from June 15, if you clear preliminary, when is the main exam? August. So July 15, August 20th, maybe 25th. So just 2 months, you will be asked to write the main exam. So main exam requires much more knowledge than preliminary. More, if preliminary is X difficulty, main exam, I feel it is 4X difficulty. 4 times more tough. I will not say tough, but requirements. Here only 2 papers, there are 9 papers, all these things are there. But what I'm saying is the level of intensity in main exam is at least 4 times that of preliminary. So most of us, before clearing preliminary, we think that preliminary is everything so difficult. But the moment you clear preliminary, you feel that, oh, kuch bhi nahi hai, that is nothing. This is much more. So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that these 2 months between preliminary result and the main exam is not sufficient to start anything new or anything. These 2 months can be used only for revision. That is why I'm saying your preparation to be should be holistic. You should be, from today, you should be preparing thinking that we are writing the main exam. Then only the whole thing will work. If you are thinking only of preliminary, then it will be a disaster if you clear preliminary. Then you will be shocked. You will not be knowing what to do after that. So you have to prepare thinking that you are writing the main exam. That is in August, say around August 20th. Let me put it this way. Earlier it used to be in September. Now they are preponed to August. So around August 20th is the exam. So before that, yes, we will have to write the preliminary also. So if you are asked to write when is your exam, you should say that my exam is in August 2020. That's the main exam. That's the original exam. But in between, a small hurdle. Okay. So I always tell, if you, while traveling, suppose you have to climb Mount Everest. In between, there is a small hump. That is preliminary. Okay. That small hump is on around 25th of May. I don't know, next year, which is the date. I think it is already published, right? It might have come in the UPSC calendar. Okay, next year's calendar. If not, it will come. In that last week of May is the last Sunday of May, normally. So, it will be there. But main exam is August 20th, 2027. That is the real exam. Okay, so we have to keep this in mind. And that is what I'm exactly trying to tell you. Our classes are also keeping in view of this. You cannot prepare only for preliminary. And you should not prepare only for preliminary. If you're doing that, it will be a disaster. Okay, that is the first thing. And along with this, of course, I'll talk about interview also, essay also, everything I'll talk. But the moment we are doing it in a holistic way, your chance of getting through the exam is very high. If you are not doing in a holistic way, it is very difficult to get through the exam. So this, since it has to be done in a systematic and holistic way, we will be, different topics and different teachers. And as you know very well, we'll have a set of, a team of people will be there. I mean, I will tell you some of these teachers you might have seen, but otherwise So we have, of course, Manish will be tomorrow. He'll be taking his introduction part. Okay, I'm there, and he'll be talking in polity also, in geography also, internal security. He was an ex civil servant. Okay, and he'll be talking he was in Central Police Force, resigned and started our classes. Now we will have Atul Garg. Okay, he is one of the best teacher in ethics today in India, most famous. So he'll be taking our ethics class. The paper 4 will be taken by him. Alok Jha and Ranjan Singh, both of them are in history. Okay, Alok Jha is very famous. He was with even PW and earlier with us. Again, he will be doing with us. He will be with us. He's a very good teacher, excellent teacher. Both of them are very good. I mean, I will not say any of them are bad. They are all are good, but these are very renowned and well-known teachers. Okay. Then we have Aman Soni will be in economics. Okay, and he's a very good economics teacher. He can do very well. He'll be doing. And we have one more teacher, Sanjay Chauhan is also there. But Aman Soni is our primary teacher. Okay. Then Akhilesh, he is a geography teacher, geography optional. Okay, I'll be asking his support in geography also. We are all geography people because even I had geography optional, Manish had geography optional. So all of us are geography. In fact, maximum number of teachers here, you will find geography as their background. All of us will say we can take geography. Anyway, but Akhilesh also will be there. Then similarly, we have, Rajdeep. Rajdeep is also geography and environment. Excellent teacher. Okay, you will enjoy his class. Yashashvi is a science tech and in environment again. He is also very well appreciated and well accepted in science tech and environment. He is taking all our, in centers like in Itanagar, in Shillong, in Manipur, in Imphal, all these places. He is the main teacher for science and tech. Okay. Then this Karan Singh. So Karan kar diya isko. Sorry, I have to change. Karan. Okay. He is a very good expert in mental ability with all tricks and this and that. So he'll be our mental ability maths teacher. And Svetang is of course there. Governance, social issues, he'll be there. He's a political science teacher also. Okay. And then we have Akash Bhattacharya. He is also in society, social issues, essay. Okay. Is again, see, one common thing about all of us, can you tell? Or all teachers, common thing about the teachers. All of us have written main exam. Most of us have gone to interview, did not get through. That is the biggest advantage. Okay, so the failed teachers, we can say that. And also Naveen is in comprehension, English comprehension and all, because in in paper 2 in CSAT, we have an English comprehension area also. So he will be coming up with his ideas about how. So all I'm trying to tell you is that it's a teamwork. It cannot be done by one teacher alone. See, those were gone are those days when, a few teachers could have been doing it. In fact, when I started my career, I taught almost every subject. Okay. I taught science also. I taught mental ability also. I taught geography, except history and economics. Economics also I taught some later on. But other than that, see, ultimately all of us will have to do everything. You have to be good in history, even if you are an engineer. You have to be good in history, you have to be good in geography, you have to be good in economics. If you are good in writing the answer, if you are good in, giving answers in front of the interview board, you can be good in teaching also. In fact, all of us should be good in all subjects. But of course, as when we move into teaching as a profession and career, naturally we try to specialize. And many of these teachers, don't think that they are all, suppose history teacher means, he had done some PhD in history. No, they are all, most of them are engineers. All these teachers are engineers. Maybe one or two exception will be there. Ultimately, they have specialized in some area, that's all. It's like doctors specializing in ortho and, other areas, gynec and things like that. The same way, ultimately, most of these people were engineers. All of them wrote this civil service exam many times. Unfortunately or fortunately, they could not get through. And they are into this teaching profession and they are specialized in certain areas. That is a simple thing. So all I'm trying to tell you is, we have an excellent team. We have a plan. We will execute that plan with full seriousness. And your duty is to follow the plan. If you have a doubt, you can always ask that doubt. You can question that plan, but we have an answer to justify that why are we doing this? Why are we going ahead like this? Okay, so you are free to ask, but our experience of conducting this program and going through should be utilized by you. Your aim should be to make use of our ideas and plans so that you can be better prepared. Okay, that is the whole thing. So a wonderful opportunity. You don't have to search for answers. I know you can ask these questions in AI also. They may give some answers, but there is no guarantee that the AI answer is 100% correct. Because I also use AI. All of us are using AI these days. There is no doubt regarding that. ChatGPT को तरफ पैसा दे दो, सब कुछ बता देगा. But still there is an issue, because then it may be telling something what is not relevant or that required for us. They give answers such a way that we are in trouble many a times. Okay, anyway, so all I'm trying to tell you is that we have a solid plan, solid strategy, solid team, and even we have decided how many hours to be spent for each subject. We have crafted our material such a way that that is a summary of relevant books and information available in online, offline. So this can be a wonderful opportunity for all of you. That is how we are planning. Specific teachers will come with specific number of hours, and they will cover all these areas beautifully. And I always say the best part about civil service exam is it's a general knowledge exam. There is no complexity in this. Especially those who are science graduates, you will realize that what we talk in history, what we talk in geography and all, it may look like very, very simple things for you. There is no complexity, no difficulty. Everything you will understand. There is nothing in this subject which you say that I could not understand this. All of you will understand everything. Only thing required is these understood things should be memorized so that you can use in the exam. It's so simple. But simple things also require some systematic effort to organize it and use it. Suppose I say, suppose today, while coming, I was just listening that, finally there may be that ceasefire in Gulf today. I mean, Iran is saying that it's about to happen this week. They will sign the agreement. US is also saying Israel has some objection. Suppose 5 points are there in the ceasefire agreement. Imagine. When you read it, you will understand everything. Very simple thing. These are the 5 points. But tomorrow, maybe after a week's time, what were the salient features of the ceasefire agreement? Those 5 points which you read today should be remembered. You should be able to answer that. You should be able to memorize and tell it. If you don't remember those 5 points, you lose marks in the exam, if that is the question. So it's a question of recollecting and organizing, or rather remembering what is considered to be a simple thing. A simple 5 points, ceasefire agreement, the conditions. If you don't remember those 5 points, then you will not be able to write those points in an answer. So it's a question of how to use that. So here, since it is a general knowledge exam, we don't have to, there is no difficulty in understanding things. Its only difficulty is to memorize and use it in the exam at the right time. Use the information at the right time. Tell the point at the right time, in the right at the right instance, or whenever it is asked. Suppose in the interview, how to tell that. If suppose in the main exam, how to write down those 5 points. Suppose if it is in the preliminary exam, these 5 points may be given as 4 options, and you have to remember which are those points in the ceasefire agreement. So like that, we'll have to use the same information. So it's a question of utilizing this information at the right place and the right thing. Okay. So anyway, so all I can tell you is that, all I can assure you is, you have come to the right place. We will give you the right information, the right content, the right strategy. You have to execute it. We will conduct the right tests also. Your task is to utilize this and get through the exam and make your career. Okay. So that is the challenge. That only you can do. I cannot do it for you. Okay. Anyway, so that's the first part that about us and what we are doing, and even the planner, strategy, everything will come. It's a 1-year program. From today, we will be ending the classes by around April 20th next year. May 25th is the exam. Around that time, around 1 month before, we will finish all the classes. Every day you should study whatever is covered in the class. You should study properly so that we can systematically complete it. Tests will be there. Even after the classes are over, some more tests will continue so that you are ready for the final preliminary exam, main exam properly. After preliminary, we can conduct main exam tests also. That is not a problem. The only thing is you have to use it properly and systematically. So we have a systematic plan, 1-year plan, whereby we will complete the syllabus completely, complete the all aspects, whether it is for interview, for main, for prelim, everything will be done systematically. You have to do it properly. Now, anyway, that's about the course and program. It will be explained more in the coming days also. Manish also will be explaining about the what you call structure of the classes and everything. Once again, that is not an issue. Now, before, let me move to another area about civil service. I would like to talk a bit about that also. See, this exam preparation, civil service exam, two things are very important. I mean, you should know. First of all, civil service as a career. No doubt, it's one of the best career in this country right now. But one more thing I would like to remind you is that if you prepare for this exam properly, this is also for all the state service exams. Same, see now everywhere, every state government has converted their state service exam syllabus into UPSC syllabus. Whether it is Arunachal Pradesh, whether it is Meghalaya, whether it is Manipur, whether it is UP, whether it is Bihar, any state. The state service exam syllabus and the exam pattern, even Maharashtra, this year only they changed to UPSC syllabus and UPSC pattern. Till then, there is a different pattern going on in Maharashtra. Now, the same UPSC pattern is being followed in every state, almost every state. So that's a good thing for us. So if you prepare for UPSC exam, if you prepare for this GS properly and one optional subject which you are doing, you are automatically preparing for your state service exam also. So this is not going to be wastage. And not only this, all one-day exam like in SSC, banking, RBI exams. Okay, then there are many more. Central Police Force, CPF. If you are interested in, a good IPS equivalent job, Central Police Force exam is a wonderful exam. 1-day exam. You don't have to write even the main exam and all in a big way. Only 1 day. Same general knowledge, our general studies paper. Exactly the same. Only thing is that I think age limit is 25 for general category. Your CISF officer, CISF, of course, some physical, kind of BSF, CRPF, okay, ITBP, 7, paramilitary forces are there. Central Police Force, physical, basic physics is required, like 100 meters in this much time, 1 kilometer in the 800 meters in this much time, long jump, high jump, short put, some which is there. But these are simple things which you can easily do. No difficulty at all. 1 day straight away into, and nowadays CSF and all airports, all even parliament security, all are done by this. The same civil service exam UPSC is conducting. 1 day, same general knowledge. There is time. You can easily do. Not difficult at all. And the posts are also high. Numbers are also high and it is expanding only. This paramilitary is not going to reduce. It will be there. So CPF exam is there, banking, even SSC banking, these are, of course, lower level or other clerical officers, but office level also. So there are multiple exams here. The foundation is same. General knowledge, this general studies is same for all. In any exam, even current affairs, of course. Same maths, mental ability, reasoning. It may be slightly difficult, slightly more difficult than our UPSC level may be. Some more speed may be required. So every exam requires some slight difference in, what you call requirements. Maybe speed slightly more than what is required. But everywhere English will be there. Everywhere reading comprehension will be there. Everywhere maths, mental ability, reasoning will be there. So your preparation, all I am trying to tell you is that if you are seriously preparing, your preparation for the next 1 year will never go waste. Even if you go for, see, these days, even TCS, Infosys, they also conduct, an eligibility test. In that, some basic common sense and, general knowledge is asked. The moment there is some general knowledge, that general knowledge is something about history, something about geography, something about economics, something about our constitution, Supreme Court, order, this, that. Only such things only will come. So this 1 year preparation without thinking about any result. I mean, don't worry about anything. If you start worrying, what will happen if I did not get through? That question should not be asked in the first year. You will get through, you will get a job. 100%, but you have to systematically and sincerely prepare. Just put in the right effort. And when there is so much of problems in AI and the jobs, any field for that matter, in private job, there is a big problem. Sarkari job will never change. This is bound to be there. See, governments cannot run without civil servants. So these jobs are bound to be there. It cannot go away. No AI can take away your job. Okay, you will also use AI. It will be, if you are using AI, you will be a better officer. But no AI can take away your job. That is the beauty. That is what you should understand. So there is a huge potential for this. So this preparation, a serious preparation, a seriously acquired knowledge will be useful in all other competitive exams. Even for a private job, if you go for an interview, if you are able to answer common sense, if you are able to answer about the current developments, you will be well appreciated. These days, your generation, people are coming out without any general knowledge. They have no understanding of anything. If somebody asks you, who is the Vice President of India? Even you may not answer now. Okay, I mean, these are all, we have only one face and only two faces in our country right now. So after some time, if somebody asks who is the President of India, you will not be able to recollect. So that is the scenario in India. But what I'm saying, we should know all these basics. Once you know, it will be useful everywhere. So anyway, so all I'm trying to tell you is that, first of all, this preparation is not just for civil service exam, UPSC exam. There are many more exams you can see. But don't jump into other exams immediately. The moment I said, no, you'll say, "Okay, sir, abhi samajh mein aa gaya. Let me go home and find out which are the exam. I'll start writing." No. First year, you acquire knowledge. Study properly. Then second year onwards, you appear everywhere. There's no problem. The first 1 year, I mean, from this June to next June, don't think of anything else. If at all your state service exam and all comes, you write it, but don't prepare separately. Use this knowledge for that. That's okay. So what? Suppose in December you get an exam. You write it. I don't mind you writing that exam, but don't expect anything from that right now. You focus on this, complete the course, understand everything, the entire width of the syllabus. Then you can use this everywhere. So that is one thing. And another big thing about civil service is, all I would like to say that about civil service as a career, please remember, this is one job you are directly involved in nation building. Yeah, our country needs good officers and good planners, good executives, and many people say कि sir कुछ करने के लिए whether something will be left, there will be enough in our country because we are almost 1.4 billion people. More than that we don't know, since there is no census we don't know, but more than 1.4 billion people are there and many are poor. I mean, even if Garib Mukt Bharat and Congress Mukt Bharat and all Mukt we are talking, even then at least 300 million people are below poverty line or need some support. See, already almost 75% of the Indian population are getting some food subsidy and things like that. So 75% means 800 million, 900 million people. Almost 900 million people are getting some or other support from the government in a big way, so that they are floating above that poverty and malnutrition. So there is so much to do for this country. Education is another problem. Healthcare is another problem. Basic infrastructure is a big problem. If you look at environmental degradation, destruction of forests, destruction of our ecosystem, our lakes, rivers, ponds, just see, everywhere we need intervention. So, all I am trying to tell you is that as a civil servant, you will be intervening everywhere. So much to be done for the country, so much to be done for our community, so much for our locality. As civil servants, we can definitely do something good to the society. Absolutely no doubt. That is the biggest thing. And second point I would like to say about our job is, whether it is IAS, IPS, you will not feel bored. There is so much of variety in the job. If you are in IAS, today you are in one department, tomorrow you are in another department. Today you may be in education, tomorrow you are in transport. Third day you may be in health. So you will not feel that monotony of the same job will not come to you. The problems will be different, the opportunities are different, the challenges are different. If you are in district, obviously different districts have different problems, different community. So there is so much of that diversity in your job, so that your problem of feeling bored, doing the same thing again and again, will never happen in this. And best part is, you have so much of authority, so much of, I will not use the term power. Power sometimes, is used negatively. So much of authority, so much of constitutional backing, Government of India support, so that you can execute things, you can plan. There are a lot of innovations can be introduced, which can be executed very well. And then a fourth thing I would like to say is that nobody can throw you out. You can never be dismissed. Dismissal is very rare. You can never lose your job. That is the beauty of Indian civil service. Okay, unless otherwise you very specifically fight and get a dismissal. For incompetence, you cannot be thrown out. Okay, for not doing anything, you cannot be thrown out. You will be sitting there in the office only. If suppose you don't want to do anything, still you will survive, you will get pension also. That is the beauty of the service. Okay, in fact, only because of some political dislike and like, you cannot be penalized or punished. You may not get a plum posting. You may be given to some department which you may not like, they may not like, but still there is a lot of scope there also. Remember, Kiran Bedi, Kiran Bedi, IPS. Now, of course, the first lady IPS officer, and she was there, very, daredevil officer. And she was transferred from Delhi. The reason was, some lawyers from Delhi University area, they were arrested for eve teasing. They were sitting in some, bus stop and passing comments on girls moving in front of them. So this was a big trouble in that area, campus law center area, okay, in North Campus. So what she did is, she arrested them, not only arrested, she handcuffed them and paraded in front of the girls, those fellows who were commenting. So this hurt the sentiments of the lawyers. For this kind of a crime, you cannot be handcuffed, because there are specific rules where who all can be handcuffed and who all cannot be handcuffed and all. Okay, anyway. So the lawyers went on a strike. She was transferred to Mizoram, because as she was in the Agmut cadre, so it includes Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, everything in that cadre. So from Delhi, she was shunted out to Mizoram. There, she started a fight against the drugs, the drug mafia. So once she landed there, now her job is that. So otherwise Kiran Bedi was known as Crane Bedi, na? Why? Because she was the first to use the cranes to lift the unauthorized parking vehicles and everywhere. So that is how she was known as Crane Bedi. Anyway, so once she started fighting against the drug mafia in Mizoram, she was shunted out from there. Are we saying that? Okay, she is a big problem there. So she was fighting so much. Then she was sent to Tihar jail as the jail, the chief, Tihar chief. There, that is considered to be one of the worst posting. There, what she did prison reforms. She went there, so she started working on that, how to do reforms, such a way, this, that and all. She got the Magsaysay Award for public service when she was the Tihar, officer there, for her, new initiative started in prison reform. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you are good, no posting is bad. Even if you are sent to such postings which are considered not so good, you can do wonders there. So anyway, so all I'm trying to tell you here is, civil services, you have a platform to influence also. You cannot be thrown out. You can only be shunted from one place to another. Still you can use, you have pension, assurity of job, and in crisis leadership, when there is a disaster. So there is a wonderful opportunity to show, if you think you want to do something to the society, this is the best place to do. Okay. And one more point I would like to say here is, see, this exam, it's almost some 20 services are involved in it. Okay. Our UPSC exam, not only the 3 All India services. Okay. We have the 3 All India services. Indian IAS, IPS, Forest Service. Of course, Forest Service, you have to write it separately. Preliminary is same, separate application form is there. Only science graduates can appear in Forest Service exam. But then we have the central government services, central services group A, including the foreign service, revenue, IRS, IT, IRS, customs, then audit and account service, defense account service, railway management service. Now this is a new service created by merging many of the railway services. There used to be earlier, railway traffic service, railway account service, railway personnel service, even in the Railway Protection Force, RPF was also there. So all these things put together, now there is one single service called Indian Railway Management Service. These are all good services. Much far superior than any other service which you think in the market, in the private sector and all. See, private sector may have some money, but money is not everything. Here the authority, the power, you are part of the system which runs the country. Railway management, here, it's a privilege. The largest, employer of the country is railways, and you will be in the top bracket in railways. Then postal service. Aap bolega post office kya karega? Who will send letter and all? See, now Indian postal service is changing a lot. It has banking services also these days. High efficient courier services are there. and many more things, postal saving, post office saving and all. So there are so many activities even in the postal service. Don't think that ye sab chota mota hai. And best part about most of these jobs, you will be posted in some of the capital cities only, most of the time. You will be posted not in a very rural posting or remote place posting and all, will not be there in these kind of jobs. Good working environment will be there. Indian Information Service, another service where you will be the PRO of the government. You will be the press briefings and all. You might be seeing Prime Minister's brief. Prime Minister the brief nahi karta hai, but baki log jab karta hai. So the officers who are doing, they are Indian Information Service people. Okay. Then civil accounts mein bahut sare hai. Corporate law service. Corporate law service is about the corporate law and the company affairs and things like that. Because ultimately our country, the private sector is run by whom? It is controlled by the corporate, the department. Okay, corporate law service. Trade service. Ordnance factory bhi hai hamare paas. Nowadays, bomb फटता नहीं है, like but otherwise there are many ordnance factories. So again, its character is changing, but these are all powerful. Then we also group B some of the DANICs, Delhi and Andaman Civil Service, Delhi and Andaman Police Service, Pondicherry Civil Service, Armed Forces Headquarters Service. None of these jobs are bad. But if you compare this with IAS, of course, वो आप बोलेगा ठीक है उतना अच्छा नहीं है. Okay, but all these services, all these 20 services, all put together, we have around 1,000 seats every year. So don't, of course, we are all aiming for IAS, IPS, IFS, whatever you want, but the other services are not that bad. Okay, don't think that way. But of course, if you ask an IRS officer, he'll be complaining and saying that IRS ठीक नहीं है, IAS चाहिए था. If you ask an IAS officer, he will say, my cadre is not so good, that cadre would have been better. So always grass is greener on the other side. वो problem तो है. But otherwise, these are all good services, good, authority. You can use some of your caliber, definitely, no doubt regarding this. So, services, I just wanted to remind you, don't worry, वो तो last stage में है, but this exam will be taking care of all these services. Okay, so that's about it. Now, coming to the exam, as we know, you know very well, but still, I would like to tell once again, those who have some confusion, sometimes, we are certain things, we always presume that I know, but I just want to repeat. We have a 3-stage exam, and we have preliminary, we have main exam, we have interview. First, coming to the preliminary part. First, let us talk about preliminary. As we know, we have paper 1 and paper 2. Okay? And paper 1, 100 questions. Paper 2, how many questions? 80 questions. Don't forget. But paper 2 is qualifying. Even though they say the total is in 400 marks and all, there is no addition and all. Earlier, there used to be addition. But now, we are not adding paper 1 marks with paper 2. Paper 2 is separate, which we call it as CSAT. Qualifying paper, you need to get 1/3 marks. Minus 1/3 negative marks also there. Please note, if you mark an answer and if you make a mistake, you will lose minus 0.33, or rather 1/3 marks you will lose. This is the highest negative marks in any competitive exam in the country. Do you know this? IIT, JEE or NEET, what is the negative marks? How much is the negative mark? 1/4, meaning 0.25 marks you will lose. In CUET, the Central University Entrance Test, the negative marks is 1/5, 0.2. You lose only, if you make one mistake, you will lose 1/5 mark. But here you will lose 1/3 mark. So this is the highest negative mark away in this country. So that means, you have to be very careful in making the negatives. If you make more negative marks, you will be out. Okay, so that the paper 2, please remember, we have 80 questions. Out of that 80, around 30 questions are related to reading comprehension. English. Maybe a paragraph is given. You have to identify the answer. But it is not that easy, because you have no habit of reading things these days. Reading newspaper, reading paragraphs, concluding what is written in that paragraph. It requires some understanding. And another 30 questions are from, I will say, logical reasoning, even data interpretation, like that, where hardly any maths is involved, no maths. And another 20 questions where maths is involved, arithmetic, maths, mental ability, some calculation. So, in brief, what I want to say is, even if you are not so good in maths, you have reading comprehension, you have logical reasoning, which can easily be managed by practice. This is where maximum, even in SSC, banking, all other one-day exams, there will be a lot of reading comprehension, logical reasoning, maths questions, or other, all these questions will be there. So if you can practice. So my request to you is, this is something you should be doing, you should be clearing. In fact, today, I would like you just pick up this year's paper. If you have not seen, if you have already seen, you take last year's paper, 2025 CSAT paper. You can download it. Spend 2 hours. Okay. Take this in exam condition. Solve this paper. Today only you please do. If you have already done some solving, if already 2025 you have done, you do 2024 paper. One previous year paper. If you have not done 26 paper, you have not seen 26, you take 2026 paper. Whichever you have not done in the last 3 years. Please download. You just attempt this paper. And you see where you stand. If you are already, out of this 80, if you are getting above 35, after deducting all minus marks. See, to get through, you should get 27 questions finally correct after deducting the minus marks. But what I am saying, without any preparation, if you are above 35, then I will say that, okay, you are good, nothing to worry. All that is required is, maybe every week you need 1 hour or 2 hours of practice. Every week. But if you are getting anything less than 35, you must spend every day 1 hour on this. Because if you are not clearing this paper too, everything else is lost. You will not be considered for anything. So the basic minimum requirement is, you should be clearing this paper too without any effort. You should be going to the exam hall in a free mind, knowing full well that is, I am going to clear it. So what I am trying to tell you is, right from day one, from today. Today you check the paper, download it, previous year, last year, this year paper, last year paper. Just Attempt it. Let us see where you stand. And if you are bad, if you are not able to score, we need practice, we need to do. It is through self-study and self-practice only we can do. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, paper 1, GS, 100 questions are there. Okay, these 100 questions are from 6 broad areas, as you know, but still I am repeating. We have history and culture, geography and environment, constitution, economics, science, and current affairs. Okay, history and culture around 15 questions, geography and environment around 25 questions, constitution 15, economics say around 18, science 15, and current affairs may be around 15 to 20. This is the breakup, approximately. But this year, of course, history was 21. But that does not mean that, you will be studying only history. Geography was 20. So that 5 questions, from here it went there, that's all. That is not a big change. Not at all. So please understand that, every year by and large, this is the pattern. 5 questions here and there. Then suddenly you may feel, oh, so many history questions. Okay, next year it will be less. Next year history may be only 10. Who knows? Okay, that variation is going to happen, but that is how the breakup will be there. You have to study, we have to prepare accordingly. When it comes to main exam and preliminary exam, qualifying paper only, no marks added to the final ranking. Main exam, 1,750 marks. Total GS, 4 papers. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, essay. 2 essays we are writing. 2 questions only we have to answer. Then you have to choose one optional subject and paper 1 and paper 2. Suppose you are taking political science or sociology or anthropology, whatever be the subject you are thinking. One subject, 2 papers will be there. 250 marks, geography, history, all these subjects can be taken that you can think. So, main exam, as you know very well, we have 7 papers whose marks are counted. 7 papers, all 250 marks each. But you have 2 compulsory subjects. One is English. That I don't think you require any preparation. You can see that also. It's a simple, a paper, 3 hours. You have to write some reading comprehension there, some small essays there. It's very simple. Some grammar, which you can easily manage. Then 1 age schedule language. But not for all, especially those in the northeast, like in Arunachal, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim. From these states, this paper is not there. Okay, that you please check out who all are exempted. But all other people from the mainstream or other mainland, they have to write. Even Assam, they have to write. Okay, so some states are exempted. You please check who all are exempted, that you can see that. But otherwise, so those who have Hindi, okay, Hindi or an age schedule language. 8th standard level only. So if you are not used to, or rather if you think there is a problem in your language, start writing something. The best way is every day write for 15 minutes. Again, in that paper, there will be one small essay to be written, one reading comprehension will be there, some grammar will be there, Some translation will be there. Very interesting. Okay, Hindi to English and English to Hindi. Translation will be there. Not difficult, but you need some practice if required. Otherwise, again, you please see, you can download these question papers in the UPSC website is there. They will tell you. So these two are compulsory. Normally out of 300, around 75, 80 marks are required to clear. It is not difficult. But if you think there is a difficulty, then you have to practice. Then you have to do something. English, no practice is required. Language, there may be. But otherwise, the score is based on the written exam, 7 papers. Then interview, as you all know, interview 275 marks, around 20 minutes. It is your personality test. Okay. And this final ranking is based on the main exam 1750 plus 275. 1750 plus 275 is 2025. Now, all I am trying to tell you here is, if you look at the optional subject, how much is the weightage of optional subject? That's what I am talking. Out of 2025, if you look, including interview, where the ranking is done, 500 marks out of 2025. That means around 25% weightage for you. This is an indication of how much time you should be spending for optional. If you are seeing only the written exam, 1750, then of course 28% weightage is there. But if you look at preliminary also, out of 2000, that 200 marks in preliminary, GS paper 1, then the optional weightage is 22%. And if you are adding CSAT also, your optional weightage is around 20%. Meaning, ideally what I am trying to tell you is that if you are spending 10 hours every day for civil service preparation, 2 hours should be spent for your optional subject. That is the bottom line from today. Just to tell you how much time you should devote. See, everything should be done in a systematic, scientific way. Optional cannot be ignored, but optional cannot be overemphasized also. If you are spending, say, 2 hours out of 10 hours of daily preparation, then you are perfectly on track. Don't do more. But of course, every day you may not be able to do that, because say, suppose you are attending an optional class. But class itself may be 2 hours. Then you'll have to study at home maybe another 2 hours, or 2 plus 2, 4 hours. Are you getting this? Then we are not doing the whole 1 year like that, no? Because after December, January, you will stop doing optional subject. We will be focusing on GS alone. So it will balance out. But otherwise, overall, next 1 year, 2 hours, 20% of your time should be devoted for optional subject, and it should not be more, and it cannot be less also, because optional is equally important. So basically, I am trying to tell you that in your preparation, 80% of your time you please spend for GS, essay, CSAT. 20% of your time for optional. Okay, so keep this in mind. It's a very important aspect, and it is useful. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning, as I told you, the maximum weightage is for GK or general studies. A general exam, general knowledge, no specialized knowledge. Okay, that is the beauty of this exam, and that is also the problem. Since no specialized knowledge is required, you are asked from every aspect happening around us. Okay, general knowledge. And when did you study general knowledge in your life? Till now, 21, 22, 23 years of age or 25 years of age, when was there time when you actually studied general knowledge? You never studied? Class 10th? Come on, yeah. When did you actually spend some time in general knowledge? Never. Don't say that. We spend, in fact, most of your time, especially in school, especially from 6th standard. Before that also we were doing language, this, that, maths, everything we were doing. But at least from 6th standard, we started studying a bit of history. That is general knowledge. We started doing a bit of geography, the states, some plans, atmosphere, like that. We started studying, by 9th standard, we started doing a bit of economics, a bit of polity and constitution, science again, specifically science from around 6th standard. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, don't say that we were not doing any general knowledge or general knowledge in our lifetime. Yes, we were doing systematically from 6th standard. And today, that is why we are also insisting that NCERT from 6th standard is the base and foundation for all general knowledge. 6th to 12th NCERTs, if you do it thoroughly, I will say at least it is 40% of the syllabus. Maybe even more than that. Which are the 6th to 12th I am talking? 6th to 12th history. 6th to 12th geography. 9th to 12th economics. 9th to 12th constitution and polity. 6th to 10th science. This is the foundation of your general knowledge. Okay. So, what you may be thinking that we have no, and again, whatever you read in the newspaper, moral general knowledge, like Iran, Hormuz, the war, US, Israel, general knowledge only. Why is it happening? Only two questions you should always ask. Why this war? And what will happen in future? And suppose this agreement, its implication, how far? Why and how far? Always ask, why this war? And what will happen in the future? Okay, and since it is a general knowledge exam, I am telling you, any one of you can be successful. No, nothing is written in anybody's head. It is not only for engineers or doctors or science graduates. It is for everyone. UPSC's design itself is like that. Every section, every type of graduate should ultimately become. Okay, that is the idea behind this kind of exam. So general knowledge, common sense, your understanding. Okay, so all I am trying to tell you is that there is nothing specialized knowledge required for this exam. It is for everyone. Any one of you can be successful. And the very pattern is like that. Okay, so that's why I say it is a general knowledge exam. Any one of you can be successful. 3-4 points I would like to say. One is the nature of the UPSC exam. If you look at that way, okay, general awareness, conceptual clarity, analytical ability, decision making, any graduate from any background can compete. That is number one. Number two, syllabus. As I told you, it is all based on general knowledge. History, geography, polity, economy, environment, science. The core focus is NCERT and current affairs only. Simple. No difficulty. Only thing is that we have to organize the knowledge in a systematic way. Otherwise, anybody can understand everything. Okay. And in the main exam, of course, a bit of depth. Issue based. Your clarity and understanding. Okay. Depth of understanding. Always, when you start asking why question. Why this war between Iran and Israel? What is behind it? The oil politics. Why Trump is involved? Trump always said that they don't want to fight any war. Finally, they joined the war. So why? That why question you should be able to answer. Okay. So this depth should be there. Depth is, you will get the depth of knowledge when you start answering with the why question and what will happen in future. See, I always tell you should be an expert in every subject. How will you become an expert? Who is an expert? An expert is who can answer the why question. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that depth you should bring in. Ask this question, you will get the answer. Ethics paper, again very important. Your attitude, your integrity, your empathy, your decision making, all common sense. The Indians have good ethics. We all our scriptures, good moral stories, morality, ethics. But we don't, many a times, we hesitate to implement what we know. We don't have to teach ethics to you. You have the ethics, but whether you are implementing it, we are practicing it or not, that's the problem. We are dishonest when it comes to implementing those values which we already know. And we all know that we should not jump the red light. But when it comes to driving the vehicle, given an option, we jump. Because we don't feel anything bad. We know that child labor is a crime. But given an option, even if a child comes, we will say, okay, you work and we pay. We say dowry is a crime. Child labor is a crime. But when it comes to even sex selective abortion is a crime, we know everything. But when it comes to implementation, some of the value. So what I'm trying, this is tested here. General ethical, moral values of the country, it is tested in this exam. Similarly, all I would like to say here is, toppers are from all backgrounds. Statistical background, if you look, okay, even first generation people, many of them are getting through even without any coaching. See, but the moment, it's again, please understand, coaching is not very important. Coaching can make your life a bit easier. Okay, don't think that only those who even if you go for coaching, if you don't study, you will not get through. You go for coaching and if you don't implement, you will not get through. See, coaching is not a 100% guaranteed certificate for success. No. If you understand what is required and if you know how to choose the topics, even without coaching, people are doing. See, many of those people who are, who claim that they did not go for any coaching, they had good guidance. Somebody has guided them. That is why they could do without coaching. So don't think that, okay, main kahin nahi sununga, I will not go anywhere, I will not listen to anybody and I will become successful. No, that may not happen. Coaching will help you in getting the right guidance, the right strategy, the right material. So your work will become a bit easier, but it is for everyone. But don't believe most of the successful candidate statements. They are so unethical when it comes to disclosing whether they gone for coaching. They talk about ethics, and at the same time they will say, I will not go for coaching. I know many of my candidates who attended full class. Finally they say, I did not go for any coaching. Okay, that is a fashion in our country, to tell a lie unnecessarily. Had they said that I went for a coaching, how does it make a difference? Will UPSC come and catch their neck and say that no, you did coaching, so your rank will be reduced? No. But unfortunately, we Indians have this problem. And we tell lies unnecessarily. Suppose you come late for the class, you will blame somebody. We don't even own up. We say metro kharab ho gaya. Metro ruka nahi. We'll come up with some lie. So that is unnecessary lies which we tell. So anyway, all I'm trying to tell you is that toppers are from all backgrounds. Arts graduates, science graduates, doctors, lawyers, management graduates, from any field, first generation learners, people without coaching, all sorts of people get through. That is why I said any one of you can be successful. And finally, UPSC wants people from all fields so that governance can be democratized. Democratic access to power. Not just memory, who understand the society, people from all walks of life should be there, so that this is, this service is full of people with some social commitment, multiple areas. So if people are from Northeast there, South India there, minorities there, women, all castes, all communities, so that it will be a mini India and we can do justice to all. That is what we are looking through this service. So it can be. So first point in this context I would like to say is, this exam is, anyone can be successful. It can be a general knowledge exam. You can be one of them tomorrow if you work hard. No background required. No history required. No khandani required. You don't have to prove that I am from this family or that family. To become a judge in our Supreme Court, you may require a family. Nepotism. Indian Express says that maximum number of judges have come from 248 families in our country. In the last 75 years of Indian history, maximum number of judges, most of the judges have come from just 248 families, it seems. So that is, but civil service is not like that. It is for anyone. Then second point, another, who can be successful in this exam? Those who are, I said, coaching is not required. First time learners are getting through. From any background it can be. So who are those successful candidates? Finally, who get through this rank? The only answer is those who are disciplined in their preparation. I have only one answer. To be successful in any field, only a person with the disciplined hard work. Only people with discipline, hard work can get through the exam. And not only this exam, you go to any field, whoever is successful, they have a routine, they have a timetable, they have a plan. It's not that easy to execute things. All of us know we should study hard. Suppose I ask you to get through this exam in one attempt, in 1 year, how many hours you should study? every day. Suppose you want to be the topper, first rank. How many hours do you think one should study every day? In one attempt only. We don't want to do any more attempts. Please tell. How many hours you think one should study, even if you don't know anything about civil service? Huh? What do I? Huh? 12 to 14 hours out of 24 hours you are talking? Okay, you said 12 to 14 hours. Somebody is saying 12 already. How many hours do you think we should study? Tell me, man. Minimum 8 to 10. Okay, he is controlling a bit. नहीं फिर भी एक आवर तो होगा ना भाई. मैं मोर देन आवर ठीक है. मैंने आप बोल रहे हैं उसको वैल्यू होना चाहिए, डेप्थ होना चाहिए, फोकस होना चाहिए. मैं मान लिया, फिर भी कुछ नंबर ऑफ आवर्स तो चाहिए. 7 to 8 थोड़ा और कम हो गया. ठीक है. 15 hours. One attempt only, he is saying 15 तो नहीं कर पाएगा मेरे ख्याल से. But every day we have to do. Okay, it's not one day. One day we may do. One day we can do 24 hours also. But next day, next 3 days you will sleep then. That should not work. Anyway, see what I'm trying to tell you. See, what I feel is, on an average, if we can do 8 to 10 hours. Okay, आपने 7 to 8 बोला, 1 घंटा ही ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया मैंने. ठीक है. तो क्वालिटी, खाली पीली काम नहीं चलेगा. It cannot be, like half-hearted effort. It cannot be half-hearted effort. With full focus. See, out of 24 hours, what I'm saying, if you're doing, say, 8 to 10 hours, 9 to 10 hours, say 10 hours on an average, I put it this way, out of 24 hours, it is possible. See, if you go for any work, any job, a private job, minimum is 10 hours. Minimum is 10 hours. Even government job, minimum is 8 to 9 hours. But whether they do or not, that is a secondary thing. But you are supposed to. But if you are an officer, it is 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. If you are a SP of a district, it's 24 hours job. They stay if you go to any police station, SHO, they stay in the police station only. They don't even go home. Once in a while, they go home. They have a bedroom behind their office only. They sleep there. Because that's 24 hours job. See, as an SHO, you may not be continuing for many years, but SHOs are such demanding job. They cannot think of any, leave, or you cannot switch off your mobile and sleep and all. At that time only there may be a robbery, there may be a fire, there may be anything. There may be a murder. 24 hours job. I'm not asking you to do 24 hours and all right now. To get a job, Prime Minister Modi, he says he works 18 hours a day. बोल रहे तो we'll believe. But it may not be less here. Any Prime Minister, they have so much to do. Chief Ministers, they may be checking the file and all. See, recently I wanted to meet one of the DCPs here. My student only. I said, I want to meet you. I have some work. He said, okay, sir, you please come. What time? He said, you come at around 9:30. I said, 9:30 in the morning. He said, 9:30 in the night. Okay, I'll be there in the office. You please come at 9:30. I'll be free. I said, 9:30? Morning? No. It's evening, sir. I will be comparatively free during that time. No pressure from outside. Normally, I do all my, file work, paperwork during that time. You please come. I can spend some time with you. I can understand your problem. I can help you out if required. Just imagine. So, if you are in a responsible job, you will be putting in so much of time like this. So, to get a job, 8 to 10 hours systematically. See, disciplined hard work, that is the key to success. Okay, not just hard work. Hard work in an indisciplined manner, without regularity, without continuity, will not work. Your preparation should be like a marathon race. Marathon runners, they may not be running very fast, but consistently, systematically, without fail, hours after hours. Then only you can become a marathon runner. The same way, we need to have a consistent hard work. So a discipline. So first thing you should do is that there should be a daily routine. Please ensure that you have a routine. Making a routine is not difficult, but implementing that is not that easy. We all did in school time also, but finally when it comes to implementation, we all failed. But now for the next 1 year, please prepare a routine and please implement it. That is the only way you can succeed. Okay, so that is why my philosophy is very simple. Your discipline will decide your destiny. Even if you want to be a good farmer, you need to be disciplined. Even if you want to be a good businessman, you should be disciplined. If you want to be a good administrator, you have to be disciplined. Even if you want to be a good priest in a church or a temple, you should be disciplined. सुबह वो लोग का पूजा शुरू होता है 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. You have to get up, you have to get ready, and you have to maybe go for a bath, cold water. And the pujaris in the temples, they wake up 4 in the morning. Then only you can be a good priest, good pujari. Actors, they are so disciplined in their food, so that they are perfect size, perfect body shape. They should look like young also. क्या नहीं करते वो लोग because of discipline. So systematic, regular, persistent hard work. That is what. Okay, systematic, regular, persistent hard work is required. Timing, consistency. My dear, if you are consistent in your effort, you cannot fail. It's all about consistency. You think of any successful person anywhere in the world, a cricketer. Who is considered to be a successful cricketer? Who is having consistency? Why Surya Kumar Yadav is out today? No consistency. If football, if Messi or Ronaldo, all these people, 6 World Cups, consistency, year after year. World Cup after World Cup. Messi is the 6th World Cup. Cristiano Ronaldo also 6th World Cup. Just imagine that consistent. Ronaldo, that's what people are saying, like his body and the fat ratio and all. It is, if you go by that standard, he is at least, his body is behaving like 6 or 8 years younger than, he's already 40, I think. Still playing. So how much discipline he might have been, doing in his food habits, in his exercise, in his daily workout. That is why they are there. So, and a very important thing is, normally, we want a slightly above average hard-working aspirant. That's what I always say. Average students. Sir, average काफी नहीं वाला, ठीक है, थोड़ा above average. Suppose you are an average student, you may not like. नहीं sir, मैं थोड़ा और ठीक है, that's why I'm above average. Slightly above average student, but who are willing to work hard. But systematically, consistently. So, if you work like this, I will say it is smart work. Smartness is all about better efficiency or better output. Input and output relationship. Smartness is all about less input, more output. One attempt, get through. That is smartness. Smartness is not, if you are working for 8 years and finally getting through, I will not say it is a smart work. Smart work is only one attempt. You know this is the attempt. I have only 1 year. I want to get through. If you are getting through at the age of 22 or 23 or even 24, how many years of service you have, 36 years of service, 60 years. 100% you will be the chief secretary of the state or the cabinet secretary, or if you are in police, you will be the DGP. At least 4 or 5 years you will be DGP. If you can get through at a lower age, younger age, imagine another person who is getting through at the age of 35 and you are getting through at the age of 23. You will, by the time you reach 35, you are 13 years of service. And a person who gets through at the age of 35, he has how much? Just 25 years of service only. He will not achieve that highest positions and all. So that is why there is a lot of incentive to get through in one attempt and early attempts. 1 saal. Just put in your heart and soul. Forget everything. If required, switch off from your, I will not say, then you will have problem. All WhatsApp and all university, you stop for some days. All social media. Just go underground. And a big Osama bin Laden, he survived so many years in Pakistan when he was underground. The moment he came out, gone. Is it not? I still remember, a notorious criminal, he was on the watch list. A Naxal plus criminal. My brother was telling one day, he got some award also for that. So this fellow was underground. Known but they knew that he has some phones and all, but he was not switching on. So they were not able to catch him. From Jharkhand, this fellow, in hiding, he went to Uttarakhand, staying in some remote, town. He was staying there. And no news about him. Nobody knew because they were all hunting for him. They could not catch. But one day, after some 7 or 8 months, for just 10 minutes, he switched on his mobile and he ordered something through Amazon. Unko kuch kharidna tha, something he had to buy, and last minute he lost some patience, switched on the mobile for 10 minutes, ordered through Amazon. Police got the location. Within 24 hours, even before the Amazon product came home, police located him, arrested. Okay, just imagine that kind of, notorious criminals, they maintain so much of discipline. That is why they survive and they can, they are outside the police net. Osama bin Laden survived for many years because he maintained so much of discipline. You also maintain some discipline. Okay. So, the point here is 1 year, full effort, life will change forever. But you have to put in that effort. That when you said 8 hours also, 10 hours also, whatever number of hours you said, 12, 14 and all, if you are managing, I am very happy. During the exam time, we may be doing it. But on a regular basis from today, say 10 hours, it is possible. We can do. But it should be systematic. It should be consistent. And when you are getting so much of material, it's very easy. We are curating the material and giving to you. You have to just execute that, okay, which is easily possible, right? So, and then, of course, you should have that committed to the society wala concept, no? Those who are some empathy, who are worried about the poor, the marginalized, the environment, democracy, justice. These are some of the qualities we are looking, ultimately. Your commitment to the society. And disciplined hard work. With a decent moral value system. That is what we are looking, and it is possible. Okay. Then, and so first point I was saying that any one of you can be successful. Number two is you should be disciplined. You should be doing that disciplined hard work with proper schedule, proper timetable, no hanky-panky business. If required, switch off from all. I mean, the other day I met one of my successful guy. He's in the DCP now in Delhi. Accidentally I met. Then he was, when we meet, automatically the preparation days will come. Then he was telling me, sir, during that time I was switched off from all social media and public life. I had a mobile only for the family members to call, and for them also, only in emergency they should call. Okay, and with limited people, the phone number was there. So he was totally out of scene for many. But finally, after 2 years, when he came out successful, suddenly people started recognizing him. So that can be done. It's a question of your willpower to keep away from all. I'm not saying that you should completely switch off and everything, but limited activity. If at all you want to do, fix a time for that. Suppose you want to be in social media, in WhatsApp. So you say that, okay, evening 9 to 9:30 is my social media time. I will not look into that otherwise. No need to switch on the mobile only otherwise. Or even if it is on, you keep that, these activities limited to certain time. Fix a time for even that, so that things will be under control. Okay, so disciplined hard work. So first thing is, any one of you can be successful. Number two is, you can be successful only if you are disciplined in your hard work. 10 hours of hard work till the next main exam. Average should be 10 hours. Not less than that, not more than that, which is possible. Because we want to get through in one attempt. And a third thing I would like to say here is, how much time? Time is the biggest challenge in civil service exam. I always tell this. The biggest villain in your life will be time. How long you can be disciplined? How many years or how many months you can be disciplined? That is the biggest challenge. Because you may be disciplined for a week's time. It's something like, if you want to reduce the body weight and all, we go for diet for some days, then you lose it. Back to normal, eat double what we were eating earlier. Ultimately, you gain all the weight once again. So this problem is always there. But how long you can be disciplined, that is a challenge. And please remember, in our preparation, this is almost a 2-year preparation. You should be disciplined at least for 2 years. Say from today, once again, say June 2026. When will you write the preliminary? You will write the preliminary in May 2027. So already 1 year. Then if you clear preliminary, you will write the main exam in August 2027. If you clear that main exam, you will go for interview in January 2028. Your final result in April 2028. Suppose you did not get the rank and you have to take one more attempt, the next result will be in 2029. So from today, 2026 June, I will say that, you should at least give 2 attempts solid. 2 attempts. It's almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. 2.5 years. That should be the time frame with which you should prepare. Here, 2.5 years is nothing in our life. If you think you will live around 70, 80 years, 2.5 years is nothing. अदरवाइज ऑल्सो आपने क्या किया इतना बड़ा अभी तक, ताकि सर मेरा इतना प्रेशियस लाइफ था, हाँ कुछ नहीं किया, इधर तक पहुंच गया। कुछ करके another 2 years, huh? So to be completely off from social media, please update class plan. Now, I'm not saying that you completely off from the social media, but you fix the time for that. Isn't it half an hour? See, we have 10 out of 24 hours only for studying. 14 hours we have. Even if you sleep 8 hours, still you have 6 hours for all other activity, including social media for half an hour. But all I'm trying to say is that fix the time. WhatsApp hai, so our problem is if our updates coming, you can check that whether class timing, schedule, maybe some notes, we are updating a lot of things in the WhatsApp also. But uske saath when you start looking other things, that's the problem. So you have to maintain that discipline. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying so throw your phone away. No. Control your emotions. Okay. Fix a time for social media also, to be in touch with the people. I'm not saying that you should be completely cut off from the society also, but that general, every minute you checking your WhatsApp and all, stop that. Every minute looking into some reel, that kind of activity should be controlled, because you have a purpose, we have to do something. You cannot, as you rightly pointed out, especially those who are appearing in our online classes, a lot of information will come through WhatsApp only, through social media only. So you don't, sign out from there, but fix a time for that. If you're doing something else, or for information's sake, for the institute's sake, you should do it. But other activity, don't get into that trap. Okay. Anyway, so 2 years of time minimum. And at least what I'm saying, till the next main exam. That is August 2027. Full time, 100% dedication. Once you write the main exam, you can think of a plan B also. Till the first main, no distraction whatsoever. After that, you can think about other exams. Suppose you want to do some part-time job. All those things you can start after the first main. So, time, the long-term commitment of 2.5 years is a long term. Very long time. It's not easy. 2.5 years, 10 hours per day on an average, a lot. See, again, what I'm trying to say, and I'm not saying that there should not be any break. Maybe, every week, half a day, you can have full break. Don't study anything, do something, go for a movie. All these things you do. But you know that suppose you are keeping 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 6.5 days a week. Let me put it this way, half day break. So you have 65 hours to be completed. Keep that track also. How many hours you are spending time? Suppose tomorrow you know that you have to go for a birthday party. So today you study extra, compensate, so that tomorrow when you go, there is no guilt feeling. Are you getting this? So sometimes we have to do that. But plan it such a way that it is not affecting your overall number of hours, that committed time. Suppose you say 8 hours to start with. No problem here. You start with 8 hours, but first month, 8 hours. Next month, you increase to 8.5 hours. Okay. Third month, make it 9 hours. By 6th month, by December, please ensure that you are spending 10 hours solid, full focus for civil service. This 10 hours include attending the class, preparing the notes, everything will come. So time factor, please don't forget. If you think you have no time, abhi shaadi karna hai, फिर जाओ, इस चक्कर में मत फंसो. Okay, don't waste your time unnecessarily. Okay, if you think there can be some result in 6 months, no. 1 year, no. 1.5 years, no. The first available opportunity for you is only 2027, 2028, April. Then only the first result will come. So we have 2 years. Then only you can do it. So please spend that time knowingly. It should not be thinking, अरे मुझे नहीं पता था सर इतना टाइम लगेगा. इतना टाइम लगेगा. 2 years is minimum, without which you cannot do anything. Okay, so that is one. Then another point I would like to say is that these 10 hours, how to spend, that is very important. There are 2-3 aspects of it. One is collection of information. How to get the information. Like class is a collection of information. Reading newspaper, collection of information. Reading any NCERT book, underlining, collection of information. Not only collection, there should be enough time for memorizing also. Okay, so I always say success depends on 4 aspects. Which are the 4 aspects? Please see. Okay, this is something very important. If you can understand this, half of your problem will be solved. What are they? Number 1. Number 1 is collection. Okay, meaning the right information, the right material, the right content that you will mostly get from the class. NCERT, know what to study. So this proper material if you have, I will say 20% of your work is done. Second aspect is whatever you collected, you have to study and memorize, internalize. Second aspect is convert that information into knowledge. Suppose you read 10 pages in NCERT, the information, those 10 pages you underlined also, now you should memorize, it should be there in your brain. You attend a class for 3 hours, whatever you wrote down in the class, it should be there in your memory the same day. Spend that time converting that information into knowledge. That is a very important aspect. See, attending a class is very easy. You have to sit like this. But write down in the class, write down whatever the teacher is saying. And memorizing that is a difficult task. Please do that. So second aspect of your preparation is self-study at home. The third aspect is once you know it, your ability to express. How to write an answer in 150 words. How to write an answer in 250 words. Only through practice we can do. First you have to collect by attending the class or reading the NCERT and things like that. Reading newspaper, you have to collect, you have to make notes. Once the collection is done, you have to convert that information into knowledge on the same day. Same day. Then do some writing practice. And finally, your personality also counts. Your values, the value system, the moral values, your empathy, your concern for the poor, the society, that is reflected in the personality test. 275 marks are there for your character. It's not a small number. But you need not worry too much about that right now. Value system also will develop over a period of time. So if, according to me, your success depends on good material, but that will add only 20% of your success. Once you have good material, if you have good knowledge, another 30%. If you are only attending class and not studying anything at home, you have done only 20% of the work. You will never clear this exam. But if you are studying also at home and converting this information into knowledge, your chance of becoming a civil servant is 50% now. Third important aspect is, once you have knowledge, you should be having writing practice and how to use that information in preliminary or main, another 30% chance. If you have good material, if you have good knowledge, and if you are good in writing, 80% chance to become civil servant. The last 20% is for your character. Interview, 275 marks. How many marks you are getting in interview? If you are getting around 175 plus out of 275, 60%, there is some chance. 65%. See, if you look at the marks obtained by the successful candidates, you invariably the toppers, the top 10, you will find their score above 170 out of 275. But it's not, everybody is not getting this. Only good candidates are getting, who are able to express their knowledge also, their personality also, and at the same time, good value system also. Only such people are able to do. Okay, so please understand. Now, what is the bottom line? Bottom line is, if you are spending 10 hours every day, your strategy should be 5 hours for collection initially, 4 hours for memorizing, studying, and at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours, see 4.5 kar do, 4.5 hours for collection, 4 hours for memorizing, and 1.5 hours for answer writing and practice. Personality के लिए अभी मत करो, कोई problem नहीं है. So 4.5 hours of collection, 4 hours to memorize every day, and 1.5 hours for answer writing and practice. Every day. Then I will say you are utilizing your time in a smart way, effectively, where you can, the chance of you becoming successful is very high. Okay. So this collection, most people are always concentrating only on attending class and making new notes. But if you're spending only time for that, that is not sufficient. It should be beyond this. Okay. Knowledge and answer writing, all are very important. Okay. Now, another aspect which I would like to say here is, for base building, NCERT. No doubt. So, those who have come earlier also, we were insisting on this part. Even now, please don't forget, at least 1.5 hours every day you spend in NCERT only. Okay. If you already read the NCERT, spend time for revision. But till the main exam, continue reading and revising NCERTs. On an average, 1.5 hours you can spend for that. So that whatever base you have developed, you are not forgetting, you are able to regain, recollect, reinforce that knowledge. That is one. Another very important aspect is current affairs. How to read newspaper and how to make notes and all, Manish also will be telling. But still, I would like to remind you that current affairs is it's a very important component of your preparation. Spend around 1.5 hours for current affairs every day. Maybe newspaper reading, fresh newspaper reading and all, 45 minutes. Making notes, 1 or 2 articles. These days, we are also telling you which article you can read. At least 2 articles you please read every day. Make some notes. Okay. We are also providing you current affairs material. We will be providing also. But every day, at least 2 articles. Make some notes. You've already curated form, memorize. Another 45 minutes for memorizing. So, current affairs is a very important component. You have to add on a daily basis from the newspaper, from the websites, from anywhere you get, absolutely no problem. And of course, the number 3 is our class notes, class material, our PPT, whatever we provide. That is the most important thing. See, your focus should be on these 3. NCERT plus set 2 articles from newspaper every day, and whatever current affairs we are providing, okay, plus class material. Class material means what you attend the class, what you make the notes, whatever additional material we are given, and its revision and repeated revision. That is what we are focusing, and that is what is required. Okay, so the right content, we were saying again, first is the collection. That collection is from these 3: newspaper, NCERT, and class. Then self-study, then answer writing practice, and of course your personality, that is part of it, no doubt regarding this. And I told you, around 1.5 hours every day for some practice. Maybe maths mental ability practice, half an hour. Answer writing, half an hour. See, please remember, we need to write answers, and answer writing is a tricky business here. Because there is word limit, there is time limit, and there is space limit. Because your answers you are writing in an answer booklet. Space is given. Say 2 sides of a sheet to write 250 words or 150 words. We cannot keep writing and cutting and all. There is only limited space given to write the answer. Okay, in GS, for example, all answers are either 150 words or 250 words. 20 questions we have to answer in GS, in each paper. 150 words, 3 hours paper, 150 words in 7 minutes and 250 words in 11 minutes. And this 150 words question, you would normally get 10 marks, and 250 words you get 15 marks. Even in your optional subject, the same thing. If there is a 20 marks question, that means you have to answer in around 300 words. Then, 20 marks means, 350 words. And then you should complete the answer in 15 minutes. Simple logic. So, you need to maintain the answer writing. So, to write good answers within the given time and within the word limit and within the space limit, you need a lot of practice. So, your daily task, 1 answer, 2 answers I will say. When you read NCERT, end of the chapter, you write either 150 word or 250 word answer from the question given in the NCERT. 150 words means 7 minutes, 250 words means 11 minutes. You are reading newspaper, every day you are revising also. You frame one question. These days, framing a question is not a problem. Even ChatGPT will give you a question. One question, say 150 words from newspaper. When you attend the class, from Monday onwards, so many questions will be there in the class. Previous year questions. Maybe one question from there. You must write. My point is very simple. 4 answers every day. 150 words means 14 minutes. And 250 words means 22 minutes. The total you will take 36 minutes. Separate time bhi nahi chahiye. Suppose you are reading NCERT. End of the NCERT book reading 1.5 hours. Last 7 minutes, one answer from the NCERT question. In exam condition. Only 7 minutes it will take. If you decide that okay, it is a 250 words answer, it will take 11 minutes. So every day, please write 4 answers. Answer writing is a very important aspect without which nothing can work. Ultimately, all your effort is decided by answer writing and how good the answer. You have to translate the knowledge into answers. Okay, knowledge without expression is incomplete. Good knowledge without clear expression, that expression will come. Your answer writing ability will come through practice only. Okay, so you have to write good answers. First, knowledge should be there. Then, I am repeatedly saying this, answer writing is a skill and it is not talent, meaning it is not inborn or anything. All of you can write good answers, provided you practice. And time limit, as I told you, is a major challenge. It's all about how much time you spend. 150 words, 7 minutes, 250 words, 11 minutes. You have to manage time. And if you start writing, it will speed, structure, confidence, everything will come if you start writing every day. It should be part of your daily routine. Okay? And in civil service exam, speed is the biggest challenge. Please don't forget. It is not easy to write 150 words in 7 minutes. Writing speed will come only if you practice. For many of us, if your speed increases, what will happen to your handwriting? Handwriting is inversely proportional to speed. So you have to write in good handwriting 150 words in 7 minutes. You have to practice. If your handwriting is bad, purchase some cursory writing book, school book, practice once again. It should be legible. It should be visible. It should be, size should be big enough so that anybody can easily read your answer. Handwriting is a very important aspect. If you are not able to write good handwriting, you will lose. Okay, so please understand this. We have to have answer writing practice on a daily basis. Okay, and of course, personality, I already told you. Your character is tested in the interview. Develop some good qualities. Good approach toward the society, fellow human beings, empathy, sympathy, discipline, all will help in developing a good personality. I am not getting into the details of the personality right now. But please remember, main exam, there is an, exam is not about some rote memory. I told you, it is all about your depth of understanding, why and what will happen. In fact, the UPSC instruction also, if you read, you will understand. I will show you that instruction. Very clear what is required in the main exam according to UPSC. It says, main exam is intended to assess the overall intellectual trait and depth of understanding of candidates. rather than merely the range of their information and memory. See, just facts not sufficient. Depth of understanding of the candidates. Again, it says the nature and standard of questions in the general studies paper will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. This is exactly what is written in the UPSC instruction. Number 3, the questions will be such as to test the candidate's general awareness of a variety of subjects which will have relevance for a career in civil service. So, they are saying general awareness, career in civil service. Then says, the 4th point is very important, that questions are likely to test the candidate's understanding, basic understanding of all relevant issues and the ability to analyze and to take a view on conflicting socioeconomic goals, objectives and demands. The questions are likely to test the candidate's basic understanding of all relevant, basic understanding. But most importantly, analyze and take a view, meaning have your opinion on an issue. UPSC answers will demand your opinion. So, somebody saying my handwriting is not good, immediately you improve. Don't celebrate your weakness. If your handwriting is bad, don't come and ask me also, sir, is my handwriting okay? If you feel that something is wrong, you correct it. You know whether it is good or bad, whether others can read or not. So you have to correct. Anyway, so please understand, your view, your opinion, that is what we will help in the class. A constitutionally correct opinion. How to present that opinion. All these things are very important. So main exam and interview, your opinion is very important. Okay. And candidates must give relevant, meaningful and succinct answers. So this is the instruction given by UPSC. Your ability to analyze, take a view on conflicting socioeconomic goals, objectives and demands. So, opinion making is very important. You should have that good understanding. We will see that we are focusing. That is where the class will help. See, raw facts, you can get it from ChatGPT also. But what kind of opinion to be given? What is to be written in the answer? And in most of the questions, you will be asked to analyze, or you may be asked to, comment. When you are asked to comment, you have to give an opinion. You are asked to discuss. In discussion also, your opinion will come. If you have to analyze, elucidate. This understanding of why this issue is happening or what is happening behind it, very important in your answer. Very important. Okay. Now, in the main exam, I'll be giving you this list also, don't worry. But please know that how the 4 papers are distributed topic wise. You please see paper 1. In paper 1, you have history, geography, and social issues. Okay. And you should know at least, syllabus. Paper 1 of main exam, 75 marks worth question from history, 100 marks from geography, and social issues another 75. Total is 250. Similarly, paper 2. I'll give you this, don't worry. Indian polity, very important, almost 90 marks. Then governance, 35 marks. Sometimes it is even 30 marks, 35, depends. Then social justice, the government schemes and programs and all. Then international bilateral issues, another 50 marks. That is paper 2. Then paper 3, you see Indian economy and 50 marks. Then what we are saying, agriculture, subsidy, what we call geoeconomics. Geography plus economics, another 50 marks. Science and tech, 50 marks. Internal security, 50 marks. Environment, 50 marks. Environment, disaster management. So 5 areas, 50 into 5, 250. And finally, ethics paper, integrity, attitude, aptitude, simple. Case studies, 6 case studies are there, 6 questions, 120 marks. So that is how the division is there. Just for your understanding, because we have to be very careful. That is why I am telling you all these things. I'll give you this, don't worry. There is a breakup. Every year, this many marks worth questions are asked. Every time it is same. Then you have to write 2 essays also. Okay. And even in essay, if you look at the instruction about essay, okay, I'll wind up, don't worry. Both log pension mein aa gaya. Ye kab chhodega? So, essay. Ab dekho, candidates will be expected to keep, aisa nahi ki you have to write some 1,000 words or anything. Candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. And you have to be very close to the topic. Arrange their ideas in orderly and to write concisely. Then they are saying credit will be given for effective and exact expression. Again, examiners will pay special attention to candidate grasp of his material, your understanding of the material, its relevance to the subject chosen. If you are writing something, it should be relevant to the question. His ability to think constructively and to present his ideas concisely, logically, and effectively. And the 2 questions you have to answer. Oh, to theek hai. But main thing is, candidates are expected to keep. So, what I am trying to, even in essay, your answer should be very focused, very close to the subject. You cannot write any paragraphs or any sentences just like that to fill the page. Essay does not mean that I have to write 10 pages, so I'll write anything. No. Very, very focused. Okay. And just see, these days, only philosophical questions are asked. I'll just show you last year's question paper, then you will understand where do we have to travel. Not easy. Just see. 2025. Abhi aaya, last year's paper. Out of each section, 1 answer each. 1 you have to choose. There is a lot of options here. See. Sorry. Truth knows no color. If you cannot write, choose another one. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. That is what Trump lost. Till the other day, we used to think Americans have so much of power, they can destroy any country at any time. Since they were not fighting any war for many years. But the moment they opened the war in Iran, we realized that Americans are so vulnerable. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Damgi dete jao. Don't fight the war. Psychological war, psychological winning. Anyway, you can think in that line. What I'm just giving, or thought finds a world and creates one also. Our thoughts can find a world, but it can also create a new world also through our thoughts. Best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. If you have to choose between the 4, which one you think you can write right now? Hmm? Which one you will choose? 1,000 words you have to write. Today, don't worry about 1,000 words. Which one you can write? Fourth one? We can see this answer, you can write in the context of India. We learn many bitter experience. Best lesson, good lessons we learned through bitter experience. COVID, we could learn a lot of things about our health system, health management. Babri Masjid demolition, communal violence, a lot of lessons we learned at that time. In your personal life also, so many lessons from bitter experience. Love affair, love failure, bitter experience. Societal, many, changes. We are learning, the breakdown of the family system. Bitter experience, good lessons we are learning, even in the Western world. So you can just connect many things like this. You can see from history, best lessons through bitter experience. Contemporary world, why is it important? Learn from history. We say, history repeats itself, or learn from history, all these things we say, why? Because of that. Similarly, in section B, so what I'm trying to tell you is that to write an essay, it's not that you have to study something new right now. Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. When there is a problem, if we can allow things to calm down a bit, more clarity will come what to do, what not to do. If there is a communal violence, crush the violence, bring some peace. After 2-3 days, call for a all-party meeting or all-community meeting, including all social leaders, everybody. Why? The muddy water is slightly getting cleared, settling down. Or the years teach much, which the days never know. Step by step, you accumulate things. Civil service preparation is like that. End of 1 year, today if you look, what did you do? Small things, 10 hours of preparation, some collection, maybe 20 pages of NCERT, one class, 2 articles. That you will never think that you will reach that level. But slowly, the years will teach much, which the days never know. It is best to see life as a journey, not as a destination. All this year's paper. You have to choose one among the 4. Contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. ठीक है, समझ में नहीं आया, छोड़ दो. We have to write only one. Sometimes it may be difficult to make out. Okay, so this is how questions are being asked in the essay. So we have to see. Even in ethics, we have such questions. Ethics paper, some quotation from, a famous personality, and you are asked to comment on that, write 100 words. I'll show you one example. Just a minute. One second. Yeah, this year's paper again, I think last year's this one. 3 quotations were given and you are asked to write 100 words about this. Okay, आप ऊपर देख लो, clearly mentioned किया है. Given below are 3 quotations of great thinkers. What do each of these quotations convey to you in the present context? 10 marks question. First question, learn everything that is good from others, but bring it in and in your own way absorb it. Do not become others. Okay, learn from others. Don't imitate others. Learn from others and bring in, you absorb it and you implement things according to your requirement, our choice. Okay, that's one question. 100 words you have to write about this. Similarly, faith is no avail in the absence of strength. You have faith. You have good faith in you. And you have full confidence that you can become IAS. But in the absence of, if faith is not nonsense or not useful in the absence of strength. Faith and strength both are essential to accomplish any great work. You have a big desire or faith in becoming civil servant, but it has to be executed through your mental strength, through your discipline, through your hard work to accomplish any great work. यही लिखना है. 4 or 5 sentences you have to write, that's all. 150 words about this. What is the meaning of this? Similarly, in law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if only he thinks of doing so. In law, you are guilty only if you violate somebody else's rights. But in ethics, if I think bad about you, that is also violation of my moral values. Immanuel Kant's statement. Right? See, ethics and morality in civil service. Not only you should not do bad, you should not even think of doing bad. That moral value will make you a man perfect. Even in every scripture it says, in your thoughts, in your what you did and what you did not do, in my thought, in my action, I have sinned. Why do we say that? In my thought I have sinned. That is the violation of your moral, ethical values. So what I'm saying is, many questions, essay, it's not that you have to study separately now. If you start practicing answer writing, if you start writing these kind of questions, automatically, without much additional knowledge, that is why you are not zero right now. You know many things, but we have to organize it properly. That's the point. Okay, so there are many things. Similarly, every year 3 questions are like this. 30 marks in ethics paper is like these quotations only. Essay, all are quotations only. You have to write. There is nothing new to be learned. Only thing you have to practice. Maybe some additional information, but we can improve it. So all I'm trying to tell you is, civil service success depends on your knowledge. First, content, good material, then a bit of knowledge. You have to convert this into knowledge, then answer writing practice. A big component. I'm saying 30% of your success depends on whether you write answers or not regularly, whether you practice answer writing or not. 30% depends on your knowledge part. 20% depends on your right content, right material, right notes. And last 20% depends on your personality, your character. If you are a good character, and if you have knowledge, and you have writing practice, you will 100% become IAS. Are you getting this? That is what we are trying to do in the next 1 year. It is possible. All of you can be successful. But you have to put in some disciplined hard work. We will guide properly. We will not misguide you. We will try to minimize the content. So that with minimum content, smart work, maximum result, final success. That is what we are looking. It is possible. So today, you can just collect, even we will be uploading also that NCERT list. Even I will also be providing you with this, these slides. Okay, in that the last slide is about the NCERT books only, which are the NCERTs you have to read. Okay, geography, which are the NCERT books, history, all. Okay, class 6, class 7, all areas. Then history, which are the NCERT books to read. Okay, around 35 books are, 41 books are there. Okay, 41 essential foundation books are there. So NCERT, standard books, current affairs, revision, answer writing, you will become IAS. It may, that's what, it may look fully complex right now, but even science books list is there. So all books list, you will get it. That is not a problem. But what is more important is how to execute, how to read. Okay, the polity books, economic books, everything I have given. Okay, the list you can collect separately also. It will be there in the WhatsApp also. In the, I will be supplying, I will be giving you this, what do you call, slides, so that you can also go through that. But today I have given one work. What is that? Please download that CSAT paper, one of the papers. 2 hours you spend in exam condition. Just see where you stand. That can be a good indicator for you. Accordingly, we will plan. If your score is very bad, we have to put 1.5 hours every day to improve your CSAT. Okay. So, anything you would like to ask? Okay. So, you have to put in the right effort. Then results will come. I cannot make you IAS. If you become, you take full credit. If you don't become, you take full responsibility. Okay. So, it's very easy to blame others. But to become successful requires a lot of pain and pressure. Okay. So, that's all for today. Tomorrow, Manish will be discussing about time management, NCERT reading, newspaper reading, all these aspects once again. The plan. Or Monday onwards, we are starting with geography. Okay, around 100 hours of classes are required, 33 sessions, 3 hours of class. 8 o'clock, we will be starting the class every day. We will have a small break also in between, 15 minutes. 3 hours full class will be there. So around 11:15, 8 to 11:15, 15 minutes break also in between, so that you will not break down in the class. Okay. So we will do. So let us do it systematically. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay. So tomorrow again, 11 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. See you then.